I was standing outside my own life. Literally. My key card to the penthouse was not just denied. It flashed a harsh and unforgiving red light that said everything without saying a word. Access revoked. I pressed it again against the sensor, harder this time, as if force alone could override betrayal. Nothing changed, just the cold blink of an LED confirming that my life had decided to erase me. Through the floor-to-ceiling glass doors, I could see them inside, my husband Jason and my sister Melissa. They were laughing comfortably, as if nothing in the world was wrong. Jason was pouring a glass of expensive Napa Cabernet, the bottle we had bought together for our anniversary. The same bottle he said we were saving for a special moment. Apparently, removing his wife from his life counted as special enough. My phone buzzed in my hand, vibrating against my palm like a warning shot. A text from Jason appeared on the screen. "You refused to sell the barn. Consider this a cooling off period." I stared at the message while standing outside the door. He did not even look up from his wine. He was warm, comfortable, and secure inside the home I had curated. The home I helped pay for with years of patience and dignity. Meanwhile, I stood in the hallway like a stranger. The realization did not hit me all at once. It crept in slowly, cold and numbing. I was locked out, not just of the apartment, but of my marriage, my sense of safety, and my future. With a few taps on a screen, he had erased me. I had become a glitch in his perfect system, and he had simply rebooted without me. I checked into a roadside motel on the outskirts of the city. The room smelled of stale smoke mixed with lemon cleaner, a chemical attempt to hide years of neglect. The bill came to $60, leaving me with exactly $124 in my secret account. That was the total value of my 5-year marriage. I sat on the edge of the mattress, the springs groaning under my weight, and stared at the water stain on the ceiling. It looked like a map of a country that did not exist. This was not how my life was supposed to end. It had started 3 days earlier at the reading of Grandpa Arthur's will. My sister Melissa inherited the family jewelry. Diamonds, emeralds, heavy gold chains that felt cold and solid in the hand. Tangible assets. Liquid wealth. I inherited the barn, a collapsing structure on overgrown land in rural Kentucky. When Jason heard, he laughed. He called it a cruel joke from the grave. Then he ran the numbers. He realized that the land, worthless at first glance, could be sold to a developer for quick cash to plug the holes in his failing real estate portfolio. When I refused to sign over the deed, the laughter stopped. People often ask me why I stayed with a man like Jason, why I tolerated the condescension, the jokes about my career, the way he treated me like an accessory instead of a partner. Sitting alone in that cheap motel room, I finally admitted the truth to myself. I am an antique restorer. My entire life is built around the belief that nothing is truly broken. It only needs patience and care. When I look at a chair with a shattered leg or a table scarred by water damage, I do not see trash. I see potential. I see what it could become if someone cared enough to fix it. That belief became my flaw. I applied it to Jason. When I met him, he was volatile and insecure, hiding behind arrogance. I did not see a narcissist. I saw a project. I believed that if I sanded down his rough edges, reinforced his weak points with my own strength, and coated everything with unwavering support, he would eventually become the man he pretended to be. I spent 5 years pouring my energy into someone made of cheap particle board while convincing myself he was solid mahogany. I confused endurance with love. I mistook tolerance for loyalty. I was not his partner. I was his mechanic. The barn was different. Grandpa Arthur had kept it for 50 years. He never sold it and never renovated it. He simply preserved it. Jason saw quick profit. I saw history. And the moment I stopped fixing and started standing my ground, Jason discarded me. He did not evict me because I was useless. He evicted me because I refused to be used. With a full tank of gas and a destination Jason considered worthless, I drove south toward Kentucky. By the time I crossed the state line, the city felt like another planet. When I arrived at the property, the barn stood in knee-high weeds like a rotting tooth. The roof sagged, the wood peeled, and decay clung to every surface. It looked like a mistake. Then my phone buzzed again. A bank alert. Joint checking balance. 0. Jason had transferred every cent. $40,000. The memo read, asset protection. Then came the photo. Jason smiling in the penthouse. Melissa wearing my scarf. The caption read, clearing out the clutter. That was what I was to him. Clutter. Debris. The voicemail followed. He mocked me, threatened lawsuits, called me a hoarder, said I held on to dead things. The wind howled through the barn as I listened. Jason saw rot. I saw patina. He saw waste. I saw preservation. I did not have the key. I broke the lock. Inside, the air smelled of oil and old metal. Not decay. Preservation. Beneath a tarp sat a 1967 Shelby GT 500. Perfect. Pristine. Grandpa's first restoration. Mine now. The title was signed to me. His note explained everything. Real value does not shout. It waits. The car alone was worth millions. Then I found the lockbox. Cash. Stock certificates. 51% control of the company Jason worked for. Then the fraud contract. He had sold my property illegally. By morning, everything froze. By afternoon, Jason lost everything. 2 weeks later, I sold the stake, kept the barn, kept the Shelby, and founded a foundation to preserve craftsmanship. Driving down a Kentucky road, engine roaring, I understood the truth. Sometimes you have to break the lock to see what was hidden inside.